Hello, dear viewers. Thank you so much for joining me for your daily tarot reading. I ask you to choose the stone that draws you, the one that really resonates, and we'll begin. We'll do a golden nugget card at the end too, in case you want further clarification. All right. So whoever chose this fossil stone, we have the Two of Swords. Okay, all minor arcana. The Ace of Swords, the Two of Swords, and the King of Coins. Okay. You know what? Spirit could be trying to bring some sort of epiphany to you. That Ace of Swords is an opportunity given. It's Spirit trying to bring you a truth. It's Spirit trying to bring you an insight, a revelation. And it would help you to make a decision, or it would help you to kind of make up your mind about how you want to view something. It may even bring you down a new path that you later look back and say, wow, that was a real fork in the road. And I'm glad I got that insight. I'm glad I got that revelation. The King of Coins, I feel like, is a reassuring card. Often, I feel like the King and the Queen of Coins is a reassuring card saying that, don't worry, you have stability. You've created stability. Sometimes people who do love security and stability, they prize it so much that they have a hard time hearing what Spirit has to say about maybe a fork in the road they should be taking. So if there's something you've been aware of, something at the back of your mind, something you'd really like to get some clarity on, it's there for you. Sometimes the way to access that is to be willing to simply say, okay, Source, show me. Show me if there's something that I really should know that might end up taking me in a slightly different direction, or maybe a completely different direction, a fork in the road, and I'm willing to hear it. And then let Source do the rest. But to come up to this place of willingness is a powerful place to be. And the King of Coins is very clearly saying, hey, you're going to have stability either way. In fact, the King of Coins could be even saying, hey, I'm trying to bring you an insight that will bring you greater wealth or health or physical sources of stability. So there can be that too. Really, absolutely, it could be saying that. So sometimes that's the case. I like the King of Coins. No matter what's going on in your life, you've got stability. But this Two of Swords, when she has more information, another good way to do that is to start writing things down. Swords are thoughts, swords are speech, or talking it out with somebody you trust, however you process. Just writing down your thoughts, letting it go. But I always like to do that in a conversation with Source or Spirit or God or whatever higher, or your higher self, whatever higher, fuller kind of presence you appeal to, because then it can go somewhere with willingness to see a larger truth. Very dynamic. I feel like it's a very dynamic reading, but with some basic stability underneath. There we go. That's a good one. Okay, for those of you who chose the point, the citrine point, clear point, we do have the Temperance Angel. We have the Five of Coins. We have the Knight of Wands. Okay, so the Temperance Angel is in the heart of your matter, right in the middle. So that's about angelic help to be temperate and wise. Temperate and wise, and things probably will be happening gradually. Now, the Temperance Angel would say, if you're not sure, just stick a toe in the water and see how it feels. Open your mind to a possibility and check it out. Remember, in the Rider-Waite, the Temperance Angel takes you along this winding path to the crown at the end. So in other words, we don't necessarily need to see the whole path. We don't need to see the whole way. The Temperance Angel also would like us to be balanced, though, as we walk it. For the Temperance Angel, the guidance we're going to get is health-giving guidance, is going to be guidance that's wise, that Won't ask us to just jump in do a cannonball in the water. It'll make sense. And if we take a risk, it's not such a big risk. It's a risk that probably pays off quite well for the size of risk it is. Or we are okay taking it because we know that it's such a small risk that, we're not going to lose anything important if it doesn't work out. The trick is, though, to trust that temperance angel and that guidance, because sometimes we don't want to take any risks. You know what I mean? Sometimes, we get we get kind of a jaded view. We get a little tired of moving forward, trying something new, opening our minds even to a new possibility, to new hopefulness, to new new hopes, new visions for the future. The temperance angel would say, well, let me show you then. Let me lead you along in a way where your hope can grow, your faith can grow. So it's a lovely card to get. And also it is about balance between fire and water. So our purpose and our drive and our fire and our emotional well-being and our emotional balance with the water. Insight, yes. So the Knight of Wands could be about a purpose that you have midway to completion. It could simply be about your energy, that your energy is good, that you are vital, that you are moving forward. Now, the Knight of Wands doesn't have a 10-step plan. They're moving forward in a certain direction. So that would work out really well with the Temperance Angel, wouldn't it? We don't need to know the outcome. The Five of Coins, now that's a sense of lack in some area. There could be something where you feel a little shut out in the cold. And it could be something having to do with a tangible source of security. So it can have to do with health. It can have to do with money. It can have to do with things. Who knows? Time, resources. And so maybe you feel that in your family. You feel like you have a lack in any one of those areas, or you feel that at your workplace, or you feel that in general. Well, now the Five of Coins is a lot about perception, because that person is about ready to go into the church where there's abundance and there's charity, right? So, this is transitory, changing. The Temperance Angel would definitely want to lead you to a balanced view of this situation, and definitely wants to call your attention to the vitality and the purpose and energy that you do have. And health, really, this would be the opposite, I think, of this. Yeah, so these are beautiful cards. And look at the third eye there, all lit up. The Temperance Angel will work through your intuition and your knowing. Okay, for those of you who chose the red stone, we have the Lover's card, the World, and the Five of Swords. You guys, I have to laugh. You know why? Because this Lover's card. So I shuffle the deck and I shuffle the deck. And each time I pick these cards for the next reading, I want to make sure I'm getting fresh cards, right? Different from the day before. That Lover's card comes up so much. It feels like it's almost every time that it comes up in one of the three piles. And that tells me that a lot of you are interested in your love life, thinking about that. It is a big deal to us human beings, isn't it? Because a love connection, a love relationship can be quite healing, but it can also be the relationship during which we work out some of our unresolved internal conflicts, about trust, about giving and receiving in love, about equality in love, power dynamics, but yet love and nurturance and tenderness. So there's a lot. It's a big deal. I guess that's what I'm saying is it's a big deal in people's lives. So I'm thinking that's why it comes up a lot. So if you've got the Lover's card today, you have it with the World. Now and you have it with the Five of Swords. Okay, this can be some of you. I'm going to give you a few different interpretations here. You've got to use your intuition to choose the one that works for you. Some of you will be seeing the wrap up. You're seeing the wrap up of a love relationship. And maybe you're having to cut it away. But the world, or you have had that recently, but the world is saying, you know what? It was a success. It was what it was supposed to be. It was what it was supposed to be in your life for a specific goal, a specific purpose. You know, one thing a love relationship can do for us is really get us to take some leaps. It can, they can be so powerful, especially in the early months. And some remain incredibly powerful, but many are most powerful in the early months. And that can get people to do some pretty remarkable things they normally wouldn't. It can get people to pull up stakes and move across the country. It can get people to be courageous, to believe in themselves and try something new. It can grow people to a new place entirely, where because of the strength of that love and feeling loved and buoyed up by that, they can take on a new challenge. And even if the relationship doesn't last, they still walk away from that relationship with that new competency, that new confidence, even though maybe they could also point to some other things they've got from that relationship, some hang-ups or some, healing they have to do or what have you. Still, sometimes if you look back at the relationships in your life, you use them a lot of times to come to a new place. Or they were for a learning opportunity, or they brought in something into your life that was very important. Some relationships bring in children, and it seems like that's the purpose of that relationship. Some relationships, simply, we cannot quite put our finger on what kind of good it did for us, but we can say that we sure did grow. We understand we're stronger. There's some things we're not going to accept in the future. We had to become our own champions. There's things we learn. So for some of you, that's what these cards are about. And Spirit would love you to see how you've overcome and how you grew and what risks you took and all those good things, the good things that came out of it. For others of you, this is really a new love interest coming in. The Lover's card is saying that if you are wanting a new love interest, guess what? Success is coming. And that's nice. But the Five of Swords to me suggests that maybe there's something you need to cut away first. Sometimes it's thinking. The Five of Swords, swords are thought, swords are speech, swords are beliefs. Sometimes it's swords are plans. So sometimes there's something you need to cut away and let it walk away first. It can be thoughts. Maybe you've got some thoughts, sayings, in fact, that you've said to yourself over and over. I always attract the wrong one. Or, some people are lucky in cards, unlucky in love. You heard that one? Things like that. I would cut those away. Let them walk away. Let those thoughts go. There might be some other thoughts or beliefs that you've got to cut away. There might be, see the two people walking away? There might be somebody in your life you do need to cut away. I think there's one person in this card, and the Rider-Waite there are two. There may be somebody that you do need to cut away and let go of, because that person is actually getting in the way of what you truly desire, of a loving partnership that you truly desire. So there's that too, whether that be a friend. You have to ask yourself, who are you spending a lot of time with? If you truly do want a new loving relationship, you're ready to try, you're ready to take a chance. Well, if you're always going out with the same people every time, to the same places every time, then you're probably not going to meet someone new, right? You may, but you may not. This may be a willingness to be on the lookout. If there's somebody you're interested in, to go ahead and change your plans for the evening and move in that direction. Maybe you would tell your friends, If I see somebody that I like, I want you guys to know and not be offended that I am very interested in trying a new relationship if the right person shows up. So please know that I may go off and talk to that person for an hour or two or something. Please don't be offended. Is that okay? So there can be, sometimes we do have to change our behavioral patterns if we're going to meet somebody new. And a lot of people have trouble with that because, the risks. You don't want to be disappointed. Well, you know what? Every disappointment, every conversation that doesn't work, every date that doesn't work, oh goodness, we can be the master of our thoughts about that as well. We don't have to blame ourselves or take it personally or make it into a bigger deal than it is. We can simply say it's a learning experience. And I've become more confident and more competent in my ability to judge character, to interact with people of all types, and decide and be assertive about what works for me or what doesn't. So it's okay. I feel like sometimes that's what we're supposed to be doing, gaining a lot of experience doing that kind of thing. And who knows why? Maybe it's so we value the relationship when it comes along, the right one, or maybe it's going to help us in our career or our work or our social life or our development. In any case, I think there's a lot of times that people kind of stand in the way, and I understand why they do, but the Five of Swords might be cutting away some of those thoughts and behaviors and patterns. So, others of you are already in a good relationship. You're in a loving relationship, and it feels so good. The World card is saying yes. The World card is saying yes. Please let go of fears you have about this. This is it. This is it. So some of you are having that kind of interpretation here. Don't bring along your baggage from past relationships. Cut that away and let it go. So you've got a lot of different interpretations. For others of you, we're not in a relationship, not wanting a relationship. First, I would say, are you sure? And second, I would say, if that truly is you, sometimes the Lover's card comes up to really talk about a spiritual love that's there for you, a real deep love. Hey, sometimes it's a love connection from a past life that's on the other side, who walks with you still, who loves you deeply, who you may have a romantic relationship with in the next lifetime. You never know. So, or sometimes this is just the love of Source, the spiritual love of Source. You can love yourself. You can just receive that too. Like you are the world. You are part of that Source, fully worthy of love. All right. Well, these are wonderful cards. I hope you have a great day. Oh, the golden nugget card. I almost forgot. Okay. And that could be because I cannot find my golden nugget. So I'm using this golden jasper, which is a grounding stone. So maybe we're supposed to be grounded right now. Okay. So I picked the Hierophant for our clarification card. Now the Hierophant is about what should be. It's about what's expected to be. It's about structure. It's about human institutions that provide structure, traditions, customs, rules, contracts, professions, science, government, those kinds of things. Church, those kinds of things. So the Hierophant, whenever the Hierophant comes up, I always want to ask myself, are you making the Hierophant your friend or foe right now? Because the Hierophant, it's just human institutions, right? But it's powerful, right? Because it's sort of got the weight of the culture behind it, right? And it's groups of people usually. So that feels kind of powerful. So are you using that power? But it's still just human institutions, still human made. So the question is, are you using that for your good, or are you letting it run you? Because it can be more powerful than the individual. It can feel that way anyway, but it doesn't have to be, because really each individual has tremendous power. It's easy to feel a lot of pressure, feel kind of bowled over, to pressure to conform, pressure to want the same things the others in the group want, believe the same things the other in the group believes. So sometimes the Hierophant cannot serve you, and it needs to be, whatever form that Hierophant is taking, it needs to be jettisoned. It really does. It's time to leave it because it no longer serves you. It's only a human institution. It's not the groups tend to get so full of themselves. It's a human tendency. Groupthink. We are the group. This is what we all believe. And groups tend to want to perpetuate themselves, and they tend to want to find homeostasis and stability. So the needs of the individuals can sometimes be, given up, or the opinions of the individuals can be disregarded or dismissed sometimes for that homeostasis. So you also have to be careful with the Hierophant that you don't get so sucked into that group or that institution's way of looking at things that it's running you. Because after all, it is only a human institution. When it's widely held to be valuable or true or knowledgeable, it's harder to challenge it. But, frankly, whole cultures have ideas about certain things that are completely wrong, and very different, in fact, from maybe what most cultures across the span of human history have believed. So, the Hierophant, you have to ask yourself, does it serve me? Does it not serve me? If there's something that is not serving you well, it's good to look for information about different ways of looking at things, different kinds of belief systems, different kinds of institutions, maybe different cultural beliefs, different beliefs in history. Helps you to get a little perspective and to be able to really go by your intuition and your knowing of what's right for you. It makes whatever Hierophant you're dealing with a little less powerful. And sometimes that's important. The Hierophant is simply human structure, human organizations to be used for your greater good. Like if there's something that you can't accomplish on your own, that's the time to get involved in some kind of group or tradition, or, maybe you use professional expertise, legal expertise, or medical expertise. That's the time to get involved with the Hierophant to get there, But it's just a means to an end. All right. Well, I thank you all so very, very much. I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.